Are we allowed to swear?
Yeah, we can swear.
Thank fish for that, man.
Whenever you say fish, there's an ash over your mouth. You can fish around all the time.
All right,
that's fine. Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Welcome back to another video with Art1fact and Madox. Yeah, he said my name and we said it at the same time. At the same time. Anyways, guys, today we're going to deconstruct our new song called Paycheck, that you can already listen on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, and all the major platforms.
Not the minor platforms.
Not the minor platforms.
We hate the minor platforms.
Yeah, Soundcloud and stuff like that, we don't use that.
Wait, I like Soundcloud.
It's gonna be on Soundcloud. Ah yeah, Soundcloud is a really cool platform, as well as, is it on Bandcamp?
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, it's also on Bandcamp, because Bandcamp is also a major platform. I really enjoy the song. It's a really new way for me to produce music, because normally I don't use synthesizers. I only use organic sounds. And I think for you, you never used beatboxing before.
No, and I look for organic sounds for drum and bass, and beatboxing is like the one. Did you say it's like 50-50?
I don't know. You're the producer.
Oh yeah, true.
I was just a sample bank. So this is like the perfect match, I would say. Like we met on Tinder, and I was looking for electronic.
It was Bumble.
Was it Bumble? But I don't use the minor platforms.
Oh, damn.
I only use the major ones. Yeah, so I think it was Tinder.
Okay.
Anyways, guys, let's get into the video.
You really wanna play back, we can pay back. That place gonna pay for the paycheck.
Basically, how we did it was I sent it random sounds, some beatbox sounds. I recorded it here.
No, we did most of it in the studio.
Did we?
Yeah, we met up in the studio and we recorded A Magical Evening. Don't you remember?
Yeah, magical evening. I know that we started like, you asked me to create a kind of like a sample pack for you.
Yeah.
And it was the bass. And then you did like a rough beat.
Yeah.
But then I joined you at the studio.
Then we had a real sound design session for a few hours. When you came and we did our sound design session, I think we had like over 200 channels of audio.
Oh my gosh.
And now it's at like 114 channels.
That's rookie numbers, bro.
All right.
Let's have a look.
We could talk about the drums quickly, because if I just solo the drums. We kind of decided to have a like synthetic kick and snare. That's like the kind of drum and bass side of the drums. And then yours is like all the percussions and the extra fills and stuff.
Yeah, like the...
Yeah. I find it hard to get that real kick and snare, like loud punch using just a human voice.
Yeah, because you're pretty new to the game, right?
Yeah. All right.
I can teach you how to mix beatbox properly in the future. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
By the way, Art1fact, he decided to get a professional beatboxer like in the next 3 years, so look out for him.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I think the way that the track actually came into a concept was we had so many sounds, and we were like deleting some of your sounds and then using other ones. And eventually we got to kind of a point where it was like, okay, these kind of sounds work together. So it was like just deleting stuff until there was some things that fitted together.
Yeah. We created chaos and then we were sculpturing it.
Yeah. Like that's kind of how it was.
Normally when I produce, I do it the opposite way. Yeah, but I can tell that's a more convenient. You don't get lost into like mixing before you actually stop sound designing, right?
Yeah. I think this was your original... This is one of the original things you sent to me before we met.
Okay.
You made this pattern. And then I just chopped it up. That's just turning the volume up. That's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Then we're just distorting it with saturation.
Okay.
And then it's got low cutting, so we're not clashing with the rest of the bass and stuff, the mid bass.
So basically, before you start boosting stuff, you actually want to reduce frequencies that you don't need.
You
right?
don't need, yeah, especially the low end.
My audience doesn't have any clue about mixing. So
No.
you really need to start from scratch with them.
All right.
What I also actually do when I mix beatboxing, if it's a beatbox solo piece, I go over the whole track with a low cut automation.
Yeah.
I put in the low cut whenever I don't need bass, so it just sounds cleaner.
Yes.
But then I remove the low cut when I have like a lip roll or like a kick.
Yeah. All this is like sub, which that's your bass, and this is a percussion, so it shouldn't have any bass there. And then we've got a bunch more EQing. What I've done here is, so we have our normal snare here, and every time the snare punches through, then we take out all of the volume of these percussions.
Ah, okay. So kind of like a sidechain.
Yeah, it's like a sidechain. So every time the snare is coming, I'm just taking the volume down.
What's the difference then to us? Like, why wouldn't you use a sidechain?
Because with this, you can draw in exactly like the curve of the volume.
Okay, so you can be more precise.
More precise. We've got a Transient Shaper, which I put on most drum elements. And that... It makes all the little hits shorter, like the end of them shorter. So we just have the start kind of the hit, and the end of it is quieter. And then we have more overall volume to play with.
So this plugin basically makes it sound crispier.
Yeah, there's a bit of a compressor that's just adding some character rather than anything else. And that's it. And then that goes into the drum channel bus. And yeah, that's the kind of beatbox percussions.
So what else do we have? In the intro, you used like my throat bass and combined it with a different synthesizer.
Yeah. When I made it sound more synthetic.
Yeah, this is so funny. Like this sound, it kind of sounds like me, but at the same time, it doesn't sound like me. Yeah, like it still has like the signature texture to it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it sounds more electronic now.
Yeah, so that's kind of the original. I've just turned it up and stuff like that. And then we've just taken out the low end. And then the thing that's making it interesting is this plugin, which is like ring modulation.
Oh, okay.
And it adds this kind of noise to the top of the sound.
Yeah.
And you can...
Yeah, I can hear it.
So this is with nothing, and then...
It's kind of like harmonizing it.
Yeah. So it adds this kind of level of noise on the top, and then makes it more gritty.
I think people who are using loop stations, they will know ring modulation because there's a ring modulator on the loop station too.
Yeah? Okay, cool. But yeah, this one, I don't know if it's this one, it has like a setting where it's like bandpass noise. So it's like adding some noise to the sound as well, like some dirt.
When I was listening to it, I was like, damn, I wish my bass would sound like this.
In real, at live events. Or stuff. Yeah. Maybe you can use it somehow live. Yeah. What I also really liked in the song is the little fills that you do, like the little extra snares and stuff. You remember? Okay, so if we look at this group, this is kind of like...
Can you zoom in a little bit so
Yeah.
you can see better?
This is the kind of Madox FX snare group, I think.
Yeah.
Where we recorded a bunch of your snares. So we got like the inward case there, the clop snare, hollow clop, Blade Runner, whatever that was.
That's a blade snare. Yeah.
They kind of add like Madox flavor, don't they?
Yeah.
To the rest of the drums.
Yeah, that was really important for me. Even though it's an electronic song, people can hear my influence.
Yeah, they can recognize your like kind of signature sounds, can't they? So they're like kind of in the background. They're like this sort of secondary snares and kicks, like the ghost hits, you'd call them.
Yeah. Ghost hits.
Yeah.
Ooh, mysterious.
There's some more here. What's these ones? That's why I made you make an insect noise.
Yeah. That's a funny one.
It's kind of like a shaker or something.
Yeah.
The closest thing. What we've really low cut it. So it's just 1,000 and upwards. It's like a background layer that we don't want any low end in it again.
Yeah, just to fill up space.
Yeah, yeah. And it kind of goes with that other bass which I made, which is the synth bass. Yeah, I made this one. That kind of fast sort of thing that we have. Buzzing bass, that was it.
It sounds like a really fast bumblebee.
Yeah. Show you what it was like at the beginning, because I think it sounded really terrible at the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an oscillation.
So it's just this old school synth, and then we're adding like... That does most of it already, actually. So that ring mod, again, I was talking about, adds that noisy high end.
Yeah.
And then a filter is doing some really fast movement. And that gives it already that
Like
fast speed. And then we just carry on emphasizing that. This phase distortion, it just like changes the character of the sound a little bit. Then I have this LFO on it, which is going at the same speed as the filter, like in 16ths.
Okay.
Right? And what it does is it just, every 16th, we only hear like the beginning part. So
Yeah.
it like tightens it up. So it's just like really more staccato. Yeah.
Yes. Shit ton of effects going on.
This is like all just freestyling. I'm not really doing it with a plan. I'm just kind of doing whatever sounds good,
but
good at the time.
I mean that's the interesting part of sound design, right?
Yeah.
You do like a bunch of random stuff, and then out of a sudden you have something that sounds sexy.
You really wanna play that? We can pay back. Earn that place, gonna fight for the paycheck.
I've got a question for you. Because your vocals, when you sent them to me...
No wood. What you gonna do whenever you want? Slap that bitch, but you ain't that tough. No wood. Do you really wanna play that? Don't getting payback. Earn that place, gonna fight for the paycheck.
When you sent them to me, it sounded like you'd already heavily processed them. Like they already had like a character to them. So do you remember what you did?
For vocals, I use RVox a lot.
Okay.
As a compressor. It doesn't really add a lot of like character to it. It just makes it really tight. I think there's a bit of saturation on top of it. Like Softtube. It's like a free plugin. It's just a one knob plugin, and I really love it because at the end, if you feel like there's not enough presence in your voice, I just turn it up a little bit. It gives more harmonics into the voice.
I like the way they sound. They have it's a real nice character to your voice that you've sort of enhanced.
In the second drop, we have like the blade snare combo.
Earn that place, gonna fight for the paycheck.
It sounds like a blaster to me. Yeah. That's why we start doing the shooting. It's like I feel like I'm in a Star Wars spaceship or something.
Normally for me it always sounded like a blade, but now in this particular song it really sounds like a blaster.
Yeah. I love that bit before that thing that you did. Oh, is it that one that we stretched it and it became really weird? Do you remember that? We like time stretched some of your lip roll, wasn't it?
Exactly. Like I think it was like
That's your lip roll.
Oh, that's crazy. We were stretching it out.
We stretched it out.
Yeah, so it kind of sounded grainy. At one point when you stretch our samples, it just gets destroyed, but sometimes you get a really nice sound out of it. But the flex time, you can decide when you stretch it what happens to it. For me, it was the most satisfying part. Like we recorded some sounds, like really random sounds, like whatever it is, and then we just messing around,
stretch them out and stuff.
Put some effects on top, and then stuff like this.
Yeah, so that was just a normal lip roll kind of bass.
I also like how the percussions are coming in before the drop.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like building the tension. I'm really used to beatboxing, but I think normal people who never heard beatboxing before, they wouldn't recognize what's the synthesizer sounds, what's the beatbox sounds, right? Yeah. Because it just works together so well.
no wood, no wood, no wood, no wood.
I love those like beatbox loop as a percussion layer. You know how we've used it is is doing that kind of that human groove on top of everything.
So in the second part of the first drop, there's like this little section where you combine like 2 snares of me, and there's like this blade snare.
Yeah, so we've got 3 of your sounds here, but the 2 main ones, this one, yeah. But they go at the same time, and that hollow clap adds just like an attack to the king king.
Yeah. The hollow clap is more like a percussive sound than the other ones.
Yeah,
has like more of like a melodic texture.
And then this one was one of your sounds.
Yeah, I think it was. That's so funny, like because when I use the snare, like I really love it because it has a lot of bass inside.
Okay. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's do the opposite of it. Yeah.
We're just cutting out all the good parts out of the snare. Yeah. But it's fine, bro.
Just want the dirt of it. Yeah, that just sits in the background anyway, so it's not really doing. It's just adding a bit of extra texture there.
But then, like in combination with the other drums, yeah, it adds so much groove to it.
I like how when we transition into this slower halftime bit, like your voice does the same before. Like we slowed down your voice.
Burn that place, gonna fight for the paycheck. No wood, no.
Yeah, but then we just took out the sample. Burn that place, gonna fight for the paycheck. And then we stretched out the paycheck.
Burn that place, gonna fight for the paycheck. No wood.
Yeah.
That's such a simple.
That's the DnB style.
You really wanna play that? Don't get no payback. Burn that place, gonna fight for the paycheck. No wood, no wood, no wood, no wood.
I think this is the only section where there's no beatboxing. There's just my vocals in the back.
Yeah, it's my favorite part. No beatboxing. I hate beatboxing.
Yo, bro.
No wood, no wood, no wood, no wood.
It's funny, like the synthesizer also sounds really organic.
Let's have a little look at the bass.
Yeah, it sounds really organic.
I definitely use that ring modulation probably quite a lot.
So it's a basic ring modulator in Logic.
No, this is actually from Kilohertz. I'm actually affiliated with because I always use them. But it's like there's plugins that add like a high-end kind of distortion and noise to the original sound.
But it's not only the texture of it, also the movement of the sound. It sounds really organic, you know?
Yeah. So it's the same bass. I've made it like in a synth, and then I've converted it all to audio files. Yeah. And then I've made different versions. And then on some of these little versions, what I've done is, for example, on this one, you have this really fast, like kind of staccato thing. And again, it's just this volume shaper at a really high speed, and it just chops it up really quickly. Yeah. And then, you know, we use it just on a small section. And then over the course of the whole bass like line, and some bits are fast, some bits are slow. Yeah, those changes in volume are what keep it interesting to the ear.
If I would know better, I would say this was made from a human sample because it just sounds way too organic for electronic sound.
Yeah, that's always the aim, to try and get things out of that electronic sound and a bit more natural.
Less stiff.
You know? Yeah.
More natural, yeah.
But the opposite with yours, where we're taking your like natural sounds and then trying to make them into synths.
Yeah. So, but I mean that was the aim, right? Like we wanted to meet in the middle. Like we have electronic sounds and try to make them more organic, and we have the beatbox sounds and we try to make them sound more electronic.
Like a Venn diagram, a circle thing.
What do you think? Like in total, how much hours of work was it?
It was a lot because we had so many sounds to begin with. That's how we got quite that unique textures and things that we did, because we had so many sounds to choose from, you know. Yeah. And then it just became like, I don't know, it's like a different world in there when I look at it now.
If you would compare like a normal production, like normally you just would use like electronic samples or you find samples somewhere, right? Yeah. But now this time, like you were with me creating samples, like how did this change your workflow? It's
like subtractive rather than additive, you know. Okay. Rather than like getting the right sounds and like making them sound big, like I would normally try to do, which is easier. Now it's just like taking a whole folder and like trying to find the best parts inside this folder. And just taking things away and away until you end up with this, basically. Just the mixing down is the part that takes ages, and it's like, creative part at the beginning. We had loads of fun in the studio, like making cool sounds and then editing them and processing them, stretching them, coming up with new sounds.
Yeah,
that was the really fun part.
For me, especially, was really fun because normally I do all this stuff by myself, recording, mixing, mastering, and now it was just like, okay, come in, record some samples, and get the fuck out of here again.
200 sounds to play with.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Fun. So like for the future, when you work again on a beatbox piece, like what would you do different?
Yeah, just do like one sound at a time rather than like record 100 and then, you know, find the best ones. Because it's nice when like you have less sounds, but they're just the right ones. Yeah. Whereas we were like in chaos from the beginning.
Yeah, but I also feel like for example, I can remember in your studio I started doing sounds I didn't even know that I could do.
Yeah.
Right. We also recorded this one, but we never used it.
We should make a sample folder.
Yeah, bro, like a sample pack.
Yeah.
First, we just use it by ourselves. Then we sell it on like Splice.
We could have like the beatbox sounds raw, and then like a processed version.
Yeah.
And it's like completely different.
Yeah, and then we also put out tutorials how to do sound design with beatbox samples.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Then we also sell these tutorials, like a tutorial.
1,000 euros per minute.
Now you're like one of the first ones who did like crazy productions with like beatbox samples.
Yeah. I want to do more.
You're also gonna drop something with Footbox G.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, if you're interested in more like tutorials how to produce drum and bass, check out his channel. I'm gonna link him down in the description below. He has like tutorial Tuesdays. Yeah. Right, on Instagram. It's really fun to watch. And then if you want to get more into detail, then you can get and join his Patreon. And get like face-to-face workshops and stuff, right?
Yeah, man.
Honestly, like just watching how you work, I learned a lot of new shortcuts. Also like the mindset of like splitting the process of sound design from the process of mixing.
Yeah.
Like normally I always do it simultaneously. You get into mixing and then you start shaping sounds.
Yeah.
But then you realize, okay, the song isn't ready yet. So you need to get back to sound design.
Yeah.
And then you go back and forth and it sucks, man. And like when we did this like just a separate sound design session,
yeah,
where we didn't even know if we're gonna use these sounds, but it was just fun to do.
It's a good collaboration, and you have really good like compositional, like songwriting skills as well.
Thank you, man. But then I'm really bad in sound design, especially when it comes to like synthesizers.
Yeah.
I think I never used a synthesizer ever in any song. Yeah, guys, so that's it. That's the deconstruction
of Paycheck.
If you enjoy this track and you want to hear it without interruptions, check out down in the description below the Spotify link. It's going to be on iTunes, but only the major platforms I heard.
Definitely not the minor ones.
Yeah,
we hate the minor platforms.
We hate the minor platforms. If you want to see more videos like this, comment down below. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment to it, and hit the notification bell. That's really important because we want to keep doing these videos. Also, let me know if you want to see more videos with Marcel. By the way, he also mixed my song "Believe Me."
I want you, please believe me.
He did the mixing and the mastering.
Lovely song.
Anyways,
pleasure.
Thank you very much, guys, and I see you for the next video.
Stay safe.